Good evening, one and all. I am Professor Loli Das from Modern College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Business Administration Campus, Shivajinagar, Pune 5. I welcome each one of you to my YouTube channel and with yet another topic on HRM, that is performance appraisal. Well, students, as you can see, the first slide where you can actually see three men standing on three different pedestals at different heights, and the two of the men you can see are quite rejoicing, are quite happy, are quite elated, whereas the third one at the bottom line is somewhat grumpy, disappointed, dissatisfied, and almost seems frustrated. Well, what do you understand or what do you infer from that? Well, you can also see that each of the three pedestals have been given a certain percentage. That is, the highest most 80%, the second highest with 60%, and of course the third at the bottom line with 35%. Well, definitely, at a first glance, we can conclude that these are the three different grades or ratings or accomplishment levels of these three people. So, of course, this particular image is very apt to start with and to describe what performance appraisal is all about. Now, I'll take you to my next slide. So, the topics that we would be discussing in today's lecture series is, first of all, I'll be taking you through the concept of performance appraisal, that is the basic understanding of performance appraisal, the objectives of performance appraisal, its processes, and in the end, I'll take you through the challenges of performance appraisal. Well, to start with, what is your take or understanding with performance appraisal? Well, the very word appraisal means review, to judge. So what do we usually judge? We usually judge the attitude of people, the behavior of people, the personality of people, the performance of people. So in an organization, usually the performance comprises of all these factors which I just introduced you with. So performance appraisal is actually reviewing time to time periodically the performance of an employee in their job, and thereby to understand that what is their level of achievement, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, what skills they have acquired well, and what skills they are yet to acquire or they are falling short of. And of course, the outcome of performance appraisal is, like if we go to the very first slide, introductory slide of ours, where you saw three men standing at three different levels of pedestals, you can understand that the ones who score 80% and above are probably the ones who are the jubilant lots, and they are the ones who are expected to get promotion because of their wonderful rating in the performance appraisal, as well as they would be getting some monetary hike, that is monetary benefits. The ones who are at the second most level, that is 60% and below, are probably the ones who are the average performers, and they are the ones who the HR will see that how their performance can be improved and what are the skills or what are the areas of lacuna that they have which can be worked upon, which can be upskilled by giving them necessary training. So they are the ones who would be put under training. Now for the ones who are at the bottommost level, that is 35% and below, are the ones who are whose condition is to be who are not the ones who are the happy lots, because they are the ones who are most probably going to be laid off by the organization because of their poor performance. So actually performance appraisal gives an organization feedback about what kind of employees do they have and how the employees are proving themselves to be beneficial for the organizational growth and organizational success. And based on these decisions, the ones who actually are competent enough and are contributing towards organizational growth and success, are the ones who are going to be promoted, and the ones who are not contributing to the organizational growth will definitely be the ones who will be terminated. Now, taking you through another slide. Well, what are the objectives of doing the appraisal of employees? Well, the very first objective is, it's an integral part of any organization. This is one of the most significant goals of an organization, that an employee's contribution needs to be tested from time to time, and this test is being done through a systematic evaluation process. Performance appraisal also helps in keeping a record of the employees related to their wage structure, related to the compensation packages, related to the salary hike that they enjoy. Of course, as I already mentioned earlier, it also helps in identifying their potential strengths and weaknesses and the areas where they could be worked upon, they could be trained and improved further. It also helps in understanding that what an employee can achieve further in his or her career path. So what are their potential qualities or skills which they have, which needs to be further nourished or nurtured, and these are the qualities which are going to take those kinds of employees ahead in their career. It also helps in influencing their working habit. That is, if an employee knows that he or she is being closely observed, their day-to-day performance is being closely observed, of course, working hard becomes a part of their habit. And working efficiently, diligently, and giving their best definitely becomes a habitual process. As I mentioned earlier, it also helps in rewarding promotions and monetary benefits to the employees, and of course gives them suitable recognition, and those who are poor performers, they are also given appropriate counseling from time to time, so that in future their quality of work improves further. Lastly, I would like to take you through the process of performance appraisal. Well, it's a very simple process. So first, the organization, the HR needs to set certain performance standards. Now, performance standards are the performance parameters based on which an employee needs to be tested or evaluated from time to time. Now, once these standards are being set, these standards also need to be communicated to the employees so that they are in proper understanding and they know better that on what criteria they are going to be assessed, so that based on those criterion they try to be more, you can say, diligent as well as vigilant, and they themselves observe their performance rather than somebody else observing their performance and correcting them. Then once the performance standards are being communicated and it is understood that the employees are aware about these performance parameters, their performance is being measured periodically. So once the performance has started being measured, then it is being compared. So compared with what? Compared with the standards already set. Now, of course, there might be few bunch of employees who would be very close to those performance standards, or who might be outshining and they might be doing even better than the standards being set by the organization. And they are the ones who would be considered the outstanding performers. However, there would be definitely a certain percentage of employees who would be lacking in their performance, lacking in their speed of work, lacking in their you can say, they are lacking in giving their best output, and that is where those performance standards are being compared with the actual performance. So once the performance is being measured and compared, the results are being discussed one-to-one with the employees. So whether the feedback is outstanding or the feedback is very poor, it is mandatory for the HR to discuss the performance standards with the employees so that employees come to know that what is their level of performance, how much more they need to perform better, and what all things they need to do further so that their performance can be improved. And lastly, the HR will not only give them feedback, but will also give them certain suggestions, certain opinions about what corrective actions can be taken from the employee's end as well as from the employer's end, so that the gap between the actual performance and the standard performance can be minimized, and every employee in the organization becomes more productive, more organized, more disciplined, and definitely uh, an organization with better productivity, more profitability will be uh, will be a prosperous organization. And of course, a prosperous organization will definitely give all the benefits to its employees who are majorly taking care of providing to these organizational growth. So with this, I end my today's lecture session. I request you all to give your valuable comments, like and subscribe to this video of mine, and of course give me feedback so that I can improve further and produce more interesting and meaningful videos for you in near future. Thank you so much. Good day.